watching college baseball on the SEC Network. A spectacular Saturday in Oxford, Mississippi. A deciding Game 3 in a top 10 matchup between number 6 Arkansas and number 4 Ole Miss. We got started on Thursday night, and for Arkansas, it was Jordan McFarland going the opposite way. It was a 4-4 ball game. Gets one over the right field wall. Arkansas goes on to win game number 1 by a final of 6-4. Last night with Ole Miss trying to even the series, Nick Fortes, the Rebel catcher, goes over the left field wall, just snuck it over. Home run and made it 5-2 Ole Miss. Rebels would hang on for a 5-4 win in game 2. Both starting pitchers have gotten the wins. Played night on Thursday, Brady Feigl yesterday. And so we are set for a rubber match on this Saturday. Good afternoon. Welcome to Swayze Field. Alongside former Ole Miss pitcher Brady Bramlett, I'm Richard Cross. We thought coming in that there was a chance this was going to be a really good series. It has delivered that and a whole lot more in the first 2 games.
You know, this series, a top 10 matchup, has definitely lived up to the hype. And today, you know I love some pitching. There's a great matchup today between James MacArthur and Arkansas, and just eerily similar numbers in both their approaches to the plate.
Yeah, both starting pitchers today sitting on 3 wins on the year. James MacArthur 3-0. Took a no decision last week. Did not last very long in the game against Texas A&M.
You know, MacArthur's really had some early struggles in this role. But today we're going to see him face a great lineup. You can see a fastball sit in the lower 90s. He loves to mix up his pitches, which is going to be great and effective against this Arkansas lineup. And he is sharp when he commands his zone. A guy that can struggle at times finding the strike zone, but, man, when he is in there, he is lights out.
Whether you have watched Arkansas for the last 2 days or for all 27 games they've played this year, you know that they can hit, and they hit 1 through 9. A couple of changes in the lineup today. Heston Kjerstad, the freshman left fielder, moves up from the 5-hole into the DH spot. Grant Cook down in the lineup today, batting in the 8-hole. Biggers to lead things off for Arkansas in a deciding Game 3. Absolutely beautiful Saturday, packed house at Swayze Field. First pitch strike from MacArthur. Biggers, the junior from Missouri City, Texas, hitting .330 on the year. Pitch misses away for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. 7th start of the year for James MacArthur. There's a strike at the knees. Home plate umpire Ryan Moorhead calling balls and strikes today. No decisions in the first 2 outings of the year for MacArthur against Winthrop and Tulane. He won against Long Beach State, won against Eastern Illinois, won against Tennessee. Lasted only an inning and a third last weekend against Texas A&M. Again, the 1-2 from James MacArthur. Fortes got a little crossed up on that one. Biggers had 2 hits in the series opener on Thursday night, went 2 for 5. 0 for 4 yesterday. Did have a sac fly and drove in a run in the 8th inning. Two. Strike 3 called. Biggers goes away looking. A 93-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees.
You see MacArthur here not wasting any time getting going in this ballgame. That's a great fastball right at the knees. Fantastic pitch.
MacArthur, the junior right-hander from New Braunfels, Texas. Freshman All-American 2 years ago, went 6-1. Last year, 3-6. Facing Eric Cole from the left side. Cole, the right fielder for Arkansas. Grounds it to Zabowski. He'll flip to MacArthur, and there are 2 away. Defensively, Ole Miss, same in the outfield as first 2 games with Dillard, Golson, and Olenek. Tyler Keenan back at third base. Same thing for Kessinger at short. Jacob Adams at second. Cole Zabowski did not start yesterday. Came into the ball game. And Nick Fortes catching. Zabowski really good offensively this year, and I think his first base defense has really improved as well. Casey Martin, 356 average on the year, the freshman from Lone Oak, Arkansas, having quite the inaugural campaign. Fouls it off third base side. Two and one to Casey Martin. Only 3 times this weekend has Arkansas gone in order in an inning. Fly ball to left. Thomas Dillard waits a long time for that one to come out. That is the 4th time this weekend that the Razorbacks have gone 1, 2, 3. Bottom of the first coming up. Casey Murphy on the mound today for Arkansas, the left-hander. There's number 21, a junior from Rogers, Arkansas, northwest corner of the state, not terribly far from Fayetteville. 6 feet, 200 pounds. Martin 3-1 on the year, ERA of 2.28. What are we going to see from Casey Martin today?
You know, Murphy's done a great job in this role, just like MacArthur, similarly, and their numbers are almost exactly the same. You know what, he's got a fastball that's going to sit in the upper 80s. He'll top 90 every now and then, and he loves to work that ball in on the hands to the righties and the lefties. He's also a guy that you don't see a lot. He likes to work that backdoor breaking ball to the batters.
I think I said Casey Martin. I know that's the third baseman. Casey Murphy on the mound. Here's the lineup that he'll face for Ole Miss. Kessinger, Olenek, and Fortes at the top of the order. Nick Fortes with his 6th home run of the season last night. You see Dillard batting cleanup for the 3rd consecutive day. Defensively, Arkansas, same thing we've seen for the first 2 ball games. Kerstad, Fletcher, and Cole in the outfield. Martin, Bigger, Shaddy, McFarland, third to first on the infield with Grant Cook catching. And Casey Murphy. 6th appearance of the year for Murphy. He's making his 5th start. 27 2/3 innings. 22 strikeouts on the year to go with the 6 walks. Arkansas struck first in game 1 with 2 runs in the first and 2 runs in the second. Yesterday was Ole Miss that jumped on the board first, got a run in the first, 2 in the second. Ray Kessinger, first pitch he sees, pops it up to Shaddy on the right side of the infield. Shaddy makes the catch. I think it is a sunglasses for everybody day. A little overcast, a little bit of a breeze blowing out to left field. Just a gorgeous day for baseball. Temperatures right around 70 degrees.
You got to love it, too. The stadium's packed already, but there's still a steady stream of people coming in.
Good crowds this weekend. On Thursday night, 9,619. Yesterday, 10,648. Olenek continues to hit. Lines this one to right. Make that aggressive turn and force the throw.
Now you see Cook set up inside there, and Murphy leaving that ball out over the outer half of the play. Olenek doing a great job capitalizing on that mistake.
That's the 6th hit of the weekend for Ryan Olenek. 3 for 4 last night. And now the Rebel catcher, Nick Fortes, comes to the plate. Fortes takes strike 1. Ole Miss team batting average of .298. Off the plate for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Casey Murphy this year has made starts against Arizona, Southern Cal, Texas, and Florida. Really pitched well against Florida in Game 3 last weekend with 6 1/3. Held the Gators offense to just 4 hits. Down and into Fortes for ball 2. Florida did, however, get 4 runs off of Murphy. 3 of those were earned, and that's the most runs that Murphy has allowed in any game this year. Held Arizona scoreless in 6 innings. Gave up 1 unearned run against Southern Cal. Which runs in for ball 3. Against Texas in a midweek start. 6 innings and 2 earned runs. He pitched in relief against Kentucky, 5 1/3. Again, 2 earned runs. #15th career start today for Casey Murphy. 3-1 pitch, grounded to second, should be 2. Shaddy to Biggers to McFarland, and that ends the threat. 2nd inning coming up, scoreless in Oxford. Not a lot of empty seats today at the ballpark. 69 degrees, sunshine. Great day for college baseball. 2 programs who have some of the best fan support in all of the country. Talked last night some about the fact that LSU leads the country in attendance, both Ole Miss and Arkansas in the top 5. Ole Miss at number 2 in the country in per game attendance. Arkansas 4th. Yeah, really all you got to do is have a good baseball team and great weather and a great facility and, create an environment where everybody wants to come and hang out. You know, the recipe's pretty simple, right?
That's the perfect recipe for crowds of 10,000s.
Those scores, we go to the 2nd inning. Ole Miss and Arkansas. Heston Kjerstad will lead things off for the Razorbacks. An impressive freshman for Dave Van Horn's ball club. First pitch from MacArthur, up and away for ball 1. Good first inning for MacArthur. Struck out Biggers to start the inning, got a ground out and a fly out. The 1-0.
Kjerstad's a batter I love to watch hit. But I'll tell you what, I'm glad I'm not the one having to face him this weekend.
2-0 to Heston Kjerstad, fouled back. Yeah, really impressive. Not for this to sound like minutia, but if you watch his hands, his ability to just rip the bat through the strike zone, but it kind of looks effortless. I mean, it is quick hands. Hitting .379 on the year. Kjerstad's got 6 home runs. The 2-1. There's a strike. MacArthur was behind in the count 2-0. He's evened it at 2-2. James MacArthur went 8 innings against Arkansas a year ago. Career high. Deepest he's gone into a ball game this year, 6 innings. Did that against Tennessee a couple of weekends ago. Again, the 2-2. I'm trying to throw that breaking ball a couple of times, both times up and away. Is that a feel issue?
It's a feel, and especially early on in the game against a left-handed batter. That's a tough pitch to start out with.
This ball lined down into the right field corner, a base hit for Heston Kjerstad. He'll head towards second with a stand-up double to lead things off for the Razorbacks in the top of the second.
Kjerstad showing there how great of a hitter he is. MacArthur missing belt high there. 3-2 fastball, and Kjerstad just getting a great swing. Talked about effortless. Man, that was effortless right there, that double down the line.
And again, you get a 2-2 pitch where you're trying to throw a breaking ball and make it a difficult pitch to hit. Misses up and out of the zone and kind of forces you to come back with a fastball. Here's Luke Bonfield. Dropped a spot in the batting order today for Arkansas. He's hit DH, or as the DH. He's hit cleanup the last 2 days. Bonfield 1 for 5 on Thursday night. 0 for 4 yesterday, and he was pinch hit for in the 9th inning. First base side, Cole Zabowski gets to the wall, reaches over, and he makes the catch, and then Kjerstad tags up and takes third. Zabowski gets the out, went over the wall and quickly into the stands, was trying to make sure that he held on to it and got his balance, and heads up base running by Kjerstad.
That's why you got to love having a big man over there at first base. Big, long body, big, long reach. Like you just said, man, that's fantastic base running there by Kjerstad, being heads up to tag up on a play like that.
One out, runner at third for Arkansas. Dominic Fletcher at the plate. Chance to give the Razorbacks an early lead. And he takes ball one. Sophomore from Cypress, California, freshman All-American a year ago. Here to Dominic Fletcher. Green light for Fletcher on a 3-0. I love that call, by the way. Now, you're trying to get that run home. You should be getting a hittable fastball 3-0.
Absolutely. Especially from MacArthur, a big strike thrower, a big fastball.
MacArthur from the windup takes a peek over to third. Fletcher fouls this one back. He chased ball 4 there.
And as a batter, 3-0. You've got 3 more chances. If I'm a batter, I'm just unleashing on that pitch coming in.
Fletcher was ahead in the count 3-0. Now a full count pitch. One away in the inning. And that's ball 4, missed down. First and third for Arkansas here in the second. You know, walks really were the undoing of James MacArthur last weekend against Texas A&M. In an inning and a third, he gave up 3 hits and walked 2. And 2 of the 3 hits were doubles. Mike Bianco went to the bullpen early and then kind of pieced it together for the rest of the way. Jordan McFarland calls back the first pitch that he sees.
Well, it's just a saying, walks come back to haunt you, and they truly do. And we've said it over and over again this weekend with lineups that Ole Miss and Arkansas has, especially Arkansas, as sharp as they are and the approach they have to play that's so aggressive. I mean, walks really turn out to be huge.
It's just off the plate for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chopper to third. Keenan going to come home. Now you got a run down. Fortes drops the baseball and everybody's safe. Kerstad, instead of running into the out at home, retreated to third base, and Nick Fortes, trying to get the ball out of his glove, dropped it.
You know, this is something that teams from Little League to professional is one of the first things they work on in practice. And Fortes there, you either got to commit to run Kerstad down and tag him or get that ball out of your glove immediately and decide to make a throw or not.
If Fortes looked like about halfway down the line, if he had wanted to dive or lunge, he probably could have gotten the tag on. That's when he decided to reach the ball, try to take it out of his glove. And so now Arkansas, bases loaded with 1 out. Trying to open things up here in the second inning. There's a first pitch strike to Grant Cook. Just off the plate for ball 1. Kerstad at third, Fletcher at second, McFarland at first. Fly ball. Left field, Thomas Dillard took a peek at the wall. Was able to settle and make the catch. And Fletcher will advance to third after the run comes home to score. Sacrifice fly for Grant Cook. Picks up his 19th RBI of the year. Arkansas scores first.
You know, Cook doing a great job there, capitalizing on Ole Miss mistake of leaving Kerstad there on third base. And great deep fly ball. See Kerstad tag up there easily and score.
Oh, and how frustrating for James MacArthur. He should be out of the inning. You botch a run down after Keenan plays it perfectly at third base. Loads up the bases, and instead of being out of the inning, it's a lead for the Razorbacks. And back to the top, Carson Shaddy in the 9-hole. Shaddy, the senior from Fayetteville. Not looked to see what the results were, but gotta believe that was a pretty good high school baseball team. The Fayetteville High Bulldogs with Cook and Shaddy on the same team.
That had to be a fun squad to watch.
Ole Miss and Arkansas not dissimilar in that. Some hometown guys making an impact. Thomas Dillard, Gray Kessinger, Houston Roth all played for Oxford High School. All in 2 strikes. won a couple of state championships.
You know, I'd love to go through just teams in the SEC in general and see how many guys on the rosters have state championships underneath their belts.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Carson Shaddy. Runners at the corners. Arkansas leading 1-0. This pitch is up for ball 2. Certainly, I would think as a bunch. Coaches love to bring in guys with winning pedigrees. 2-2. Zabowski gives it a chase, but this one will be a little too far.
You know, a lot of times teams and pitchers would love to be in a situation like this. 2 outs and you got your 9-hole at the plate. But by no degree is Carson Shaddy an easy out here for the Razorbacks.
Hitting .361 on the year. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for James MacArthur. Should have been out of the inning a hitter before. Gives up just 1 run after having the bases loaded with 1 out. Second strikeout of the day for MacArthur. Sunday, tomorrow, final game between number 8 Vanderbilt and number 2 Florida at McKeithen Stadium in Gainesville. It's noon Eastern tomorrow, Easter Sunday, right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. If things stay as they are right now, it looks as if the Florida Gators will be playing for a sweep tomorrow. They lead Vanderbilt 10-1 in the 8th. Gators won last night. Michael Burns set the school record for career saves, picked up his 26th. Thomas Dillard leads off for Ole Miss. Bottom of the second after the Razorbacks get a run on a sacrifice fly from from Grant Cook. Dillard, Golson, and Zabowski to start the inning off for Ole Miss. Two 2-0. I don't say this just because Thomas Dillard's at the plate right now. You get the impression that we're going to see a home run or two or a few to left field today. Wind is blowing out. Ball's traveling pretty well. Arkansas's just missed a couple already. Strike call to Thomas Dillard.
That's a great job there by Murphy. The last 2 pitches he's missed with a slider down back door on his back foot, and it comes there with a fastball in the outer half.
2-1, opposite way down into the right field corner, but foul. Dillard has only 1 hit on the weekend, 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts on Thursday. 1 for 4 yesterday. Had an RBI single in the first. Is 2-2. Fouled away. As a right-handed hitter hitting against lefties, .219. Obviously, much higher batting average from the left side, but twice as many at-bats as well. The 2-2. Yeah, it doesn't really matter with your starting pitcher, but with relieving pitchers, a guy like Dillard certainly has got power. You'll see coaches try to flip him around. And Southern Miss did that twice on Tuesday night. It's a top 15 matchup here in Oxford. First time it worked, they got a strikeout. Second time, he had a 3-run home run. There, Dillard goes away looking, strike 3. That's the first strikeout of the ball game for Murphy.
But I love this pitch here by Murphy. 2-2 slider. Started on the outer half, bring it in, backdoor. That's a fantastic pitch, an effective pitch against a batter like Diller hitting from the right side.
Will Golson down to the plate for Ole Miss. Arkansas leading 1-0. Golson takes strike one. Murphy sitting at 90 miles an hour with his fastball. Will Golson, senior captain from Columbus, Mississippi. He played at New Hope High School. Fouls it back, and Golson is behind 0-2. Casey Murphy went 5-1 a year ago. Started 10 games, made 19 appearances. He lost to Missouri State in the Fayetteville Regional last year. It's the only loss of the season. Primarily a midweek pitcher last year. Full count now to Golson. Olsen hits it to short. Should be easy for Biggers. They're 2 down in the inning. Just one hit allowed so far by Casey Murphy, the starter for Arkansas. It was a one-out single by Olenek back in the first. Fortes then grounded into a double play. Tillard strikes out. Golson grounds out to start the second inning. Cole Zabowski batting with 2 down and the base is empty. Out tip for a strike.
Murphy's really got a great feel for that pitch right there. A lot of times you'll see a lot of lefties will work off of their off-speed, a slider like that, especially touch and field lefties such as Murphy.
Ball and 2 strikes. Get that breaking ball working. Casey Murphy trying to have a 1-2-3 second inning after Arkansas took the lead in the top half. Swing and a miss. Got Zabowski. Second strikeout of the inning. Ole Miss goes 1-2-3 and Arkansas leads it 1-0 after 2 at Swayze. Georgia red hot on top of the East at 7-1. Florida winning on their way to their 6th victory in league play today. Vanderbilt trailing in Gainesville. Tennessee even at 4-4 over on the Western Division side. Ole Miss and Arkansas both sitting at 5-3. Auburn started their weekend series a day later. 4-3 after their win last night. LSU and Mississippi State have split the first 2 in Baton Rouge this weekend. And Mississippi State trying to climb their way out. Alabama win yesterday at home against the Kentucky Wildcats. Bama and Kentucky get started at 2 o'clock local time this afternoon.
And what a start to the season Georgia's had. 7-1 in conference play.
That's good, right?
That's pretty good to me.
Pop up. Ball will get to the net. And Biggers comes back to the plate. He struck out looking his first time up. Both pitchers have allowed 1 hit. Both pitchers 2 strikeouts in the game. Difference in this game right now. Sac fly from Grant Cook. In the second inning, Arkansas had the bases loaded after Ole Miss did not execute on a rundown. South Carolina trying to sweep today against Tennessee. Texas A&M trying to salvage one against Georgia. They lead 2-0 in the third. Another one popped out of play. Game 2 for Missouri and Auburn coming up later tonight. 6 o'clock start. They'll get started at 2 this afternoon in Baton Rouge with Mississippi State and LSU. Two. Fly ball down the right field line. Olenek to the warning track. He will reach up and make the catch in the corner. A couple of steps shy of the wall. Down the left field line, that is a no-doubter. Wind maybe holding it up a little bit down the right field line, and there's one away. Bianco sitting on 686 wins in his 18th season at Ole Miss. Led the Rebels to the 2014 College World Series. Mike Bianco calling pitches from the dugout via the walkie-talkie. Baseball lined up the middle, and that's a base hit. Eric Cole. First hit of the ball game.
Cole really jumping on that fastball there. Down to the zone. It's a good pitch. Letting his hands work, going down and getting that ball, taking it right back up the middle.
Casey Martin flew out to left his first time up and takes a strike. Kind of a quiet crowd right now. Swayze Field absolutely filled to capacity and then some. Standing room only. Outfield area is overflowing, but this is a quiet 10 or 11 or 12,000 right now. Arkansas leading 1-0. Razorbacks a 1-out base runner. Cole at first after the single. 1-1 to Casey Martin. He is coming now from MacArthur. On the fastball there from MacArthur. And Martin to chase one upstairs. That's a good 1-2 pitch from James MacArthur.
That's a great pitcher's pitch. Really, MacArthur, he's kind of been all over the zone early on in this game. And as a pitcher, a guy that's been pounding spots throughout, a lot of times umpires can give him a call like that.
This ball hit to second. Runner was going, so no chance for the double play. Martin out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. Cole gets down to second base. Hit and run keeps Arkansas out of the double play. Razorbacks second in the SEC with that .313 batting average coming into this ball game. Kentucky leads the way at .323. And then Ole Miss is third with the .298 average. Well, Kentucky is really stacked up. Great offensive season so far. They lead the league in hitting, slugging, on-base percentage, runs scored, runs batted in. Some of the power numbers, Arkansas's got the most hits of any team in the SEC. They've got 49 home runs, which is 3 more than Kentucky has hit. Ole Miss leads the SEC in doubles. They've got 66 of them. Aston Kerstead ahead of the count, 2-0. He's got a runner in scoring position, but 2 down. Olsen fighting the sun, still fighting it. He finds the ball at the end and is able to kind of reach to his left and make the catch. Tough sky today for the outfielders. Arkansas strands a runner. We go to the bottom of the third. Arkansas a run on 2 hits. Ole Miss no runs on a hit. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Richard Cross, Brady Bramlett with you from Swayze Field. This is a deciding Game 3 between number 6 Arkansas and number 4 Ole Miss. Dave Van Horn joins us from the Arkansas dugout. Coach, we do appreciate your time. I guess no reason to think that we'd see anything other than a tight game after what we've seen in the first couple this weekend.
Well, you got two really good teams going at it, and great atmosphere.
Casey Murphy, tell us a little bit about him and what you like from him.
Just a crafty lefty. You know, he's going to move the ball in and out, change speeds a little bit. I mean, they're going to make contact. We just need to field the ball. He doesn't, really try to strike you out. He tries to get you to get yourself out a little bit.
Do you like the approach from your hitters so far today against MacArthur?
It's just been okay. A little frustrating, but he's a really good pitcher. He's got, good stuff. We got to lay off the high fastball. That's the thing I really see.
Coach, appreciate your time today.
Okay, thank you.
That's Dave Van Horn, Arkansas head coach. Ton of success in his career. 16th year with the Razorback program, 614 wins. 14 of the previous 15 years. Arkansas has been in regional play. Chase Cockrell, junior, leading off from Bastrop, Louisiana. He's batting for the first time today. Ole Miss has not gotten through the batting order full time yet. Only 1 hit allowed so far for Murphy. Heard his head coach call him a crafty lefty. The 2-0. Swing and a miss. Snuck a fastball by there. The only disagreement I would have there, you think crafty lefty, you usually think that's like an 84-mile-an-hour fastball.
He's definitely not throwing 84. He's definitely got a big fastball. But it's his approach that makes him crafty, a guy that can really work off his off speed and really fill up the zone and place the ball wherever he would like in the strike zone.
Cockrell goes away. That is the third strikeout for Murphy.
See Murphy really working that backdoor slider again. That's a tough pitch to make as a pitcher on the back foot of the batter. And man, that's a fantastic pitch. I'd love to see pitchers that can make pitches like that.
No strikeouts in a game this year for Murphy, 6. He's done it twice, once in a midweek start against Arizona, and then once against Florida. That was last weekend, and he opens with a strike to Tyler Keenan. Rebel third baseman hitting .302 on the year, freshman from Clayton, North Carolina. Boy, Murphy in a rhythm right now. He's working at the pace at which he wants to work, and he's getting ahead of hitters. He struck out 3 of the last 4. The 0-2.
Missing up in the zone like that, I wouldn't be surprised to see Murphy here go back to that slider he's really been working off of all game so far.
The 1-2. Out away. Fastball up in the zone. He's not able to do anything with it other than foul it off. Arkansas got a sacrifice fly in the second. That's the only run of the ball game. Ole Miss has had only one base runner. Strike 3 called. Keenan goes away looking. He knew it. That is 4 of the last 5 struck out by Casey Murphy.
You see Murphy again. The 2 pitches before this, his fastball up in the zone misses. Again, another fastball up in the zone. That pitch right there, he starts at the same level as the last fastball, and you just see it drop into the zone like that for a strikeout looking. Crafty being the perfect description of Murphy.
First pitch to Adams misses. With good hitters, you've heard them talk, whether you're talking about Major League Baseball, I guess particularly big league players. Hitters will tell you, look, against pitching at that level, you're probably only going to get one good pitch to hit in an at-bat. And if that's the case, you better not miss it. Well, college level, you might get a couple of pitches that are good pitches to hit in an at-bat. But you can't foul them straight back. Two of those fouled off. 2-1. Now, obviously, sometimes the pitcher has a lot to do with that. Two balls and a strike, 2 out in the inning. Down the third baseline. That'll go a few rows into the seats and kick back into playing area. Two balls and 2 strikes to Jacob Adams. Casey Murphy trying to go through the Ole Miss lineup first time around unscathed. He gave up the single to Olenek, the second hitter of the ball game, but Fortes grounded into a double play. Next hitter. This ground ball backhanded by Shaddy. Ole Miss goes 1-2-3 in the third. So far, so good for Casey Murphy on the mound for Arkansas. The Razorbacks lead it 1-0 after 3. 6 Eastern, 5 Central, right here on the SEC Network, streaming live on the app. Three innings in the books. Arkansas leading 1-0 over Ole Miss. James MacArthur back out in the top of the 4th. First pitch misses to Luke Bonfield, batting in the 5 hole today. Popped up right side. Zabowski one away. In the second inning, Heston Kjerstad led the inning off with a double. Bonfield popped out into the first row of seats on the first base side, and then Kjerstad tagged up and went to third. Really good base running there. Fletcher reached on a walk. McFarland on a fielder's choice. That was the play where Ole Miss did not execute the rundown. And then Grant Cook get a sacrifice fly to deep left. Here's a high fly ball to right. Arkansas hitting a lot of fly balls today. Olenek barely had to move on that one. Out of a possible 11 outs today, 7 are fly ball outs. This one's lifted to left. Dillard makes the catch, make it 8 fly ball outs in the ball game. Good 4th inning for James MacArthur. Ole Miss top of the lineup coming to the plate. It's the 7th week of the baseball season, last day of the month of March, and so RPI beginning to kind of normalize a little bit. Both Ole Miss and Arkansas in the top 10. You see the Rebels splits on the weekend so far, 5-3 in the league, 24-4 overall, 7th best RPI in the country. Arkansas's RPI after their win on Thursday night jumped about 6 spots. Ole Miss dropped from 3 to 7. Yesterday, with Ole Miss winning at home, both teams stayed exactly where they are. RPI values a road victory more than it does a home victory. If you think about it from kind of a neutral site standpoint, the value of a win on a neutral site is 1. A road win is worth 1.3. A home win is worth 0.7. Don't ask me anything else about it. I don't know the algorithm or the math behind it. I just understand that there's a greater value placed on road wins, which is a big part of the reason that Ole Miss, who's got a strength of schedule that is around mid-40s, around 50, you think about the wins that they have this season. Kessinger lunged for that one, popped it up right side. McFarland fighting the sun, and the ball hits off of Shaddy's glove. An error, and Ole Miss has its second base runner of the game. Seen the outfielders fight it. Not many clouds, and what's up there today is just kind of wispy.
Yeah, that's a tough call there. The sun. You see that ball drifting as well. I think the wind played a little factor in that with the sun.
You know, ultimately, because that ball hit Shaddy's glove, it's going to be an error on the second baseman. But that is a tough error because McFarland looked like he had it the entire time, and then Shaddy just can't grab it. Ryan Olenek lines it into left. Kessinger makes a big turn. Throw coming toward third. Offline, and Ole Miss has got second and third with nobody out in the fourth. This big crowd's got something to cheer about for the first time today. 7th hit of the weekend for Ryan Olenek.
Olenek really having a day again. Taking the ball into the gap. You've got to love the aggressive base running there by Kessinger, turning that base hit, going from first to third. Putting Ole Miss in a great spot now. No outs, runners on second and third.
Wes Johnson, the pitching coach for Arkansas, will walk out to visit with Murphy and call the entire infield in. That was a good throw by Fletcher. He never hesitated. And he showed you a big arm. But Martin couldn't field it cleanly. I don't know that Martin would have gotten the tag on Kessinger going in regardless. But when he can't catch it on the hop, there's obviously no shot.
That is Olynyk's 12th double of the year so far. And a lot of those, we talked about that aggressive base running. Olynyk loves to take a base hit, try to stretch it to that double, and a lot of times it pays off.
Well, you understand the aggressive play there, Fletcher. But the flip side of that is if Fletcher throws the ball to second, then Ole Miss has runners at the corners. Instead, it's two guys in scoring position, and Nick Fortes to the plate. With a runner at third and less than 2 out this year. Nick Fortes is hitting .727. He is 8 for 11 in this situation. And he hits a fly ball to center. Fletcher going back. He will make the catch a step shy of the warning track. Both runners will advance. And we've got a tie ball game.
Fortes doing a great job. Hit that deep fly ball to center field there. Tying the ball game up for Ole Miss. You got to love it, too. A guy like Fortes was having such a great year at the plate. Really not trying to do too much in that situation. Just let the pitch work. Getting the sac fly, deep fly ball to center field. That's a great approach.
I think now both Arkansas and Ole Miss would say, okay, we've each spotted the other a run. Ole Miss did not execute on a rundown, sacrifice fly with a runner at third, less than 2 outs. Got Arkansas's run. Arkansas drops a pop-up on the infield. Martin coming to the plate. The throw is in time, and Olynyk, who was going on contact, is out at the plate, second out of the inning.
We talked about base running. That's a play there as Olynyk. That's a tough decision as base runner, but I think there you got to react and head back to the base.
Unless you've got a scenario where you're saying, okay, on contact, you're going and trying to score regardless. Saw that earlier in this game, though, with Kerstad for Arkansas. That was the rundown that we were talking about where Ole Miss didn't execute. Dillard reaches on the fielder's choice. Here's Will Golson. Chopper up the middle, hop behind the bag. Shaddy makes a good play, and that ends the inning. Ole Miss had second and third with nobody out. They get 1 run out of it, tied at 1 after 4. Game 3 tomorrow, the Gators playing for the sweep. Number 2, Florida. Number 8, Vanderbilt at McKeithen Stadium. All get started tomorrow at noon on the SEC Network and streaming on the app. 10-2 the final in Game 2 today. Gators won last night. Michael Byrne got the save for Florida. James MacArthur back out of the 5th. Would love to have another inning just like the 4th. Pop out, fly out for Arkansas. Here's Grant Cook. Has driven in the only run of the day for the Razorbacks. Popped up, Keenan. Well, you watch these infielders and the outfielders as well, and they are all really fighting the sky, fighting a high sun, a high sky today.
Man, it is tough. All of them, like you just said, they're scrambling just to find the right spot to get underneath that baseball.
There's nowhere to hide either, is there?
No. The ball will find you.
Ground ball, 6-hole, Kessinger trying to throw over in time, and he does to beat Carson Shaddy by a step. Seven in a row retired by James MacArthur since the single by Eric Cole in the third. Back to the top of the lineup, and Jax Biggers, who is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. Something about pitching against Arkansas for James MacArthur. A year ago in Fayetteville, MacArthur went 8 innings of one-hit baseball. He allowed 1 earned run, struck out 6 and walked 2. Career high 8 innings. This ball lifted to right. Olenek coming in. He will reach up and make the catch. Boy, James MacArthur's got it on cruise control right now. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 1-1 with the Rebels and the Hogs. A run, 2 hits, and an error for Arkansas. A run, 2 hits, no errors for Ole Miss. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. No shock that you got a tight ball game between these two teams. What's going on around the SEC? A little look at news and notes. Georgia takes the first 2 from Texas A&M. Game 3 going on right now in Athens. Texas A&M trying to salvage one. Florida 8-4 last night, 10-2 today to take the first 2 from Vanderbilt. That's on the heels of beating Florida State earlier this week. And LSU and Mississippi State decided Game 3 coming up tonight at Allen Cox Stadium in Baton Rouge. Game underway a little while ago as well. Cole Zabowski will lead off for Ole Miss, bottom of the 5th. Zabowski struck out swinging. First time he batted, that ended the 2nd inning. Both pitchers in good shape from a pitch count standpoint. Zabowski, fly ball, deep center field. Fletcher on the run. It is gone. And Ole Miss takes a 2-1 lead. Seventh long ball of the year for Cole Zabowski. He is now tied for the team lead. That was crushed.
Zabowski taking it to the deepest part of the ballpark right there. Stays back on that off-speed pitch, and man, he just drives it over the center field wall.
This big crowd was quiet for the first 3 innings, but with a run in the 4th, a solo home run, a lead off the 5th, Swayze Field has come to life. Pitch runs in for a strike to Chase Cockrell. Cockrell behind in the count, 0-2. A year ago as a freshman, Zabowski hit .239 with 1 home run. This season, a little bit different story. 1-2 to Cockrell. Zabowski up over 300 with the batting average, 7 home runs. we mentioned it earlier. You looked at him early in his career, and it's a little shaky defensively at first. He's played a pretty good defensive first base this year.
I think he's really found his rhythm over there as well. Last year, a lot of times, him and Fortes, mostly Fortes, they would kind of split time there. And now Fortes has really found his place behind the plate.
Cockrell through the 6-hole. Solo home run and a single to start things in the bottom of the 5th for Ole Miss.
You know, it's the first time we've really seen Murphy get touched up there. You see Cockrell there waiting, staying back on that backdoor breaking ball, just taking it there through the 6-hole.
There's currently no action in the Arkansas bullpen. But there is about to be. Got some guys making the jog down the right field line. That's Jackson Rutledge, a freshman right-hander. Big, tall guy that's going to go down and get loose. Tyler Keenan now. Arkansas got a sacrifice fly from Grant Cook in the 2nd inning. Ole Miss a sac fly from Fortes in the 4th and a solo home run from Zabowski here in the 5th. Keenan lines it to right. Rebels will have 1st and 2nd. That's 3 straight hits to start the inning.
The Rebel offense really starting to settle in here. Keenan taking that fastball right there above the belt, just driving it to right field.
First time through the order. You heard Dave Van Horn use the phrase crafty lefty to describe Casey Murphy. First time through the order, he struck out 4, got a ground ball double play, gave up only a single to Ryan Olenek. Second time through the order, Kessinger reached on an error. Double to Olenek, sac fly from Fortes. Dillard put it in play, reached on a fielder's choice. Golson grounded out, and then home run single here to start the 5th. Here's Jacob Adams. See if Adams is bunting. Arkansas with a wheel play on, and Adams pulled back and took ball 1. They had Martin, the 3rd baseman, charging, and Biggers, the shortstop, racing over to cover the 3rd base bag. Mike Bianco will come out and will talk with Jacob Adams.
You gotta wonder here is Coach Bianco telling Adams, hey, look, on this bunt here, try to aim it towards first base? Or is he saying, hey, don't worry about that movement out in the field. Just get the bunt down and do your job?
First and 3rd, both charging. Spin, throw to 2nd, and Cockrell just did get back in. Boy, Arkansas has given Ole Miss a couple of different looks. That time you had Martin charging from 3rd, McFarland charging from 1st, and Biggers, instead of going to 3rd, well, he goes toward 3rd, but then you get the 2nd baseman, Shaddy, sneaking in behind.
You know, I love to see crafty pickoff moves just like that there. And Murphy, that was a deceptive move to 2nd base. To me, it looked like he was about to commit home.
First and 2nd, nobody out. 9-hole hitter Jacob Adams squares to bunt and pops it back. Would be your bunting cardinal sin, right?
Especially in a situation like this, you got 1st and 2nd.
Jacob Adams does not have a sacrifice bunt on the air. In fact, Ole Miss hasn't done it much. Only 7 sacrifices this season. Same thing for Arkansas. These teams swing the bats. Adams squares, pops it up, third base side. Adams never looked comfortable in that at bat. Martin made the easy play in foul ground. That's a missed opportunity for Ole Miss. Arkansas going to make a pitching change. Dave Van Horn makes the visit to the mound this time, and you see Jackson Rutledge standing at the door to the bullpen waiting on his number to be called. Did not take Rutledge long to get loose. Warm day and a long at bat there with Jacob Adams. So a new pitcher coming into the game for the Razorbacks. It's 2-1 Ole Miss. Casey Murphy's day is done. 4 1/3. He struck out 4. Not a couple of runs, only one of them earned. Gave up 5 hits. Ole Miss second time through the order. A little bit different story dealing with Casey Murphy.
You know, Murphy described him as a crafty lefty. A lot of time, guys that pitch like he does second time through, batters have really adjusted to his approach. Now we get to see the big dog, Rutledge, come in.
I mean, Arkansas just brought a mountain in to pitch. Casey Murphy, you see, will watch. Jackson Rutledge, 6'8", 258 pounds out of St. Louis. Right-hander. Finishing up his warm-up tosses, making his 9th appearance of the year, a 0 ERA.
We'll talk about a big fastball. We might see Rutledge here top 98 miles per hour on the radar gun.
Yeah, which surprises you a little bit to only see the 8 strikeouts. As they brought Rutledge in, as Arkansas brought Rutledge into the game, they had about 4 other guys that headed down to the bullpen. So not sure this is a guy that is going to be in the game for a long time for Arkansas. Jackson Rutledge worked 9 1/3 innings, giving up 5 hits, 2 runs, neither of which are earned. Opponents hitting only 147 off of Rutledge. So top of the lineup, Gray Kessinger. Ole Miss led the inning off with a home run from Cole Zabowski. Cockrell singled, Keenan singled, and then Adams unable to get down the bunt. He popped it up to the third baseman, Martin. .95 miles an hour, down and in for ball 1 to Gray Kessinger. Kessinger 0 for 2, but has scored one of the 2 runs in the ballgame for Ole Miss. He reached on the error. Drop pop-up by Arkansas over on the right side of the infield. Two and 0. Last couple of warm-up pitches that Rutledge threw coming out of the bullpen, he threw to the backstop. There's a ball that has gotten onto the field, and Dominic Fletcher will have to run over and retrieve it. And he did not make any friends. He looked over at the ball, acted like he didn't want to go get it, period. And then the umpire pointed to it, and he just threw it out of the stadium. Not like flipped it over the wall to the kids that were playing. He threw it over the seats in left field. The 2-0. Ground ball to short. Tough hop. Biggers can't handle it. Gets by Shaddy. Run going to come around to score, and it's 3-1 Ole Miss. That was a tough hop that time for Biggers out at short. Cockrell never checked up, going second to third. He came around to score, and Keenan goes first to third on the play.
He You see this tough hop right there. And that's tough for Biggers to handle. You see Shaddy fall down trying to stop it as well. But again, you see that aggressive base running there from Ole Miss. Cockware, like you said, never checked up. He could run another run for Ole Miss across the board.
E6 there for Biggers. That's the second error of the ball game for Arkansas. If you're looking close at this Arkansas team and you're trying to find something that doesn't look championship caliber, it's their defense. That's the second error of the ball game. We've got 31 errors on the year, fielding only 970.
Well, you see for their pregame routine, typically teams will go straight into BP, but Arkansas, they take about 10 minutes, 15 minutes of ground balls just to kind of get in that mindset of making plays.
Olenek gets a fly ball to center. Fletcher's camped out underneath it. Tagging at third is Keenan. He'll come home to score, and Ole Miss leads 4-1. What a weekend at the plate for Ryan Olenek. 2 for 2 in the game prior to that at bat. But he's got a runner on third with just an out. His job's to get that run home.
Again, Olenek, who's having a great weekend, not trying to do too much in that situation, letting the pitch work and taking that ball deep into center field to get the sac fly, get another run across the board for Ole Miss, which now makes it 4-1.
Here is Nick Fortes, had a sac fly in his last at bat. Fortes foul down the third baseline. Nothing like being out in front of a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It's one of those where you are geared up for that pitch and still shows some pretty good bat speed.
Well, the guy like Rutledge, and you know he's got that big fastball. You got to be geared up and ready to go.
Two and one. I understand you got to throw different pitches, but if I had a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, I'd be so mad when they called breaking ball. I mean, unless I've just got a hammer. 2 balls and a strike. Kessinger at first. It's now 3-1 to Fortes. You saw him gear up for the fastball earlier in the at-bat. He was out in front, pulled it down the third baseline. You would think with Fortes, who's got 6 home runs on the year, he is gearing up for another heater. It's not close. Kessinger goes down to second. Fortes earns the walk. And Thomas Dillard will come to the plate. Jacob Kostichak throwing in the bullpen for Arkansas, another right-hander. Dillard, have a 3/4 swing right there. Strike one. Two down in the bottom of the fifth. Ole Miss has scored 3 in this half inning, and the Rebels lead by 3. 1-1 to Dillard. This ball, base hit through the right side. Kessinger going to come around to score. Trouble picking it up for Cole. Cortez goes first to third, and Ole Miss leads 5-1.
Dillard here, staying inside that baseball, taking it to the 4-hole. That's a great at-bat there by Thomas Dillard.
27th RBI of the year for Dillard. Will Golson, the 9th hitter of the inning, to come to the plate for Ole Miss as the Rebels trying to win a series. It was Arkansas in game 1, 6-4. Ole Miss yesterday, 5-4. Ole Miss leading 5-1 with 4 runs across here in the bottom of the 4th. Golson 0 for 2, grounded out to short in the 2nd, to 2nd in the 4th. Rutledge taking a long time, and now Golson asks for time. Fortes over at third, Dillard at first. 2 down in the inning. It'd be interesting to see if Thomas Dillard tries to take second base here. He's 9 of 10 in stolen bases on the year, and that pitch misses for ball 2. And Dave Van Horn has seen enough of Jackson Rutledge. Steps out of the dugout and immediately points to the bullpen. And so Kostychak's going to come in, and he's going to inherit a 2-0 count with Will Golson at the plate. Will's coming off a little bit for Arkansas here in the bottom of the 5th. Rebels have scored 4. Arkansas trying to find that 3rd out. New pitcher coming in. New pitcher in the game for Arkansas, the right-hander Jacob Kostychak, sophomore from O'Fallon, Missouri. 6'4", 172-pound right-hander. Kostychak making his 8th appearance of the year. He's 0-0 with a 5.54 ERA. Kostychak is going to face Will Golson, who has a 2-0 count. Jackson Rutledge came in relief of Casey Murphy. Murphy gave up a home run, 2 singles, and then got a pop out of Adams trying to bunt and was pulled. For Rutledge, Kessinger reached on an error, gave up a sac fly, walked Fortes, and then an RBI single to Thomas Dillard.
You know, yet another guy for Arkansas coming out of the pen, it's going to sit in the lower 90s. It's not hard to find 2 bullpens, just the Ole Miss bullpen, Arkansas bullpen, where there's not many guys that are going to be underneath that 90-mile-per-hour mark.
Yeah, power arm after power arm. So Kostychak ready to go. Will Golson will come back to the plate. Tonight at 10 Eastern, 9 Central, the SEC Now team will be back to break down the men's Final 4 games as well as the baseball and softball matchups. Plus, they will look ahead to tomorrow night's national championship game on the women's side. Mississippi State meeting Notre Dame. Nobody covers the SEC like we do. You can always watch on the ESPN app. Packed house with a lot to cheer about here in the middle of the ball game. Golson, first pitch, hammers it to third. Martin catches it off of his shoestrings, and that ends the inning. 4 runs for Ole Miss. The highlight was the leadoff guy in the inning. Cole Zabowski going deep.
Cole Zabowski driving it over the center field wall, deepest part of the ballpark, and you gotta love it. Ole Miss now leading 5-1 going into the top of the 6th here at Swayze Field.
A run, 2 hits, 2 errors today for Arkansas. Ole Miss 5 runs on 6 hits. No errors in the ball game for the Rebels. Final in Gainesville. Florida takes the first 2 of the weekend. Win it 10-2. LSU leading Game 3 in Baton Rouge, 1-0 over Mississippi State. Aggies trying to salvage one. They're up 5-0 on Georgia, top 6. Alabama and Kentucky scoreless in the 4th. Tennessee trying to steal one on the road. Down 2-0. Up 3-2 on South Carolina. And a later start tonight for Auburn and Missouri. Game 3 here. Exciting Game 3. Arkansas won the first. Ole Miss bounced back and won yesterday. Eric Cole leading off for the Razorbacks, 1-1. The count to Cole. James MacArthur has retired the last 8 that he faced. He sat in the dugout for a long time that half inning. 2 pitching changes, plus 4 runs on the board for Ole Miss. I assume as a pitcher that's something that you're okay with, but it is real that you kind of get out of a little bit of a rhythm.
It is tough, especially, I was a guy that innings like that, I would go down the left field line and just get my arm back moving and get back in motion.
MacArthur actually did that. He popped out of the dugout at one point, was throwing in front of the Ole Miss dugout.
But on the flip side of that, you got to love when your offense puts up 5 runs for you.
So, guys, I'll figure out a way to get loose. You just keep swinging it. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Eric Cole, 1 for 2 in the ball game. Got a piece of it, fouled it back. That was a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Velocity still there for James MacArthur. The 2-2.
Good pitch up in the zone. But I will say he really hasn't called many up like that this afternoon.
Full count. Another pop-up. Shallow right field. Olenek. 1 away. Nine straight by James MacArthur as he works here in the top of the 6th inning with a 4-run lead.
That's now 10 outs have been fly balls.
And, normally you think, okay, what do you want from your pitcher? You want him to live down in the zone, or you want him to get a bunch of ground balls, but some pitchers are kind of fly ball out guys.
A lot of times it's your guys like MacArthur, big body, big fastballs, that it has that late life that almost looks like it's rising as it goes through the strike zone. And that's where you start seeing a lot of your fly ball outs.
I guess you can live with fly ball outs, assuming pitchers are locating the way they are, because you're not going to get balls barreled up. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And the flip side of that, too, what can be troubling for a pitcher like MacArthur is that guys that have a lot of fly ball outs also have the bigger potential of giving up a long ball.
Martin lifts this one to right center. Olenek on the run, reaches up, makes the catch, and they're 2 down. That's 3 straight putouts by Ryan Olenek. Kerstad has one of Arkansas's 2 hits in the ballgame. Doubled and scored in the 2nd. He hits a fly ball to right field. This one is at the wall. It's at the track, and Kerstad just hit his 7th home run of the year. Now, one of those fly balls came back to bite James MacArthur, and it's now 5-2.
Kerstad is too good of a hitter for MacArthur to miss up in the zone with a changeup like that. You see Kerstad stay back, that ball belt high, and again just driving it over that right center wall.
7th home run of the year for the freshman Kerstad. He is now tied for the team lead. Casey Martin's got 7, Kerstad's got 7, Carson Shaddy's got 7. There's a strike to Bonfield. He is 0 for 2. Right-hander Will Etheridge throwing in the bullpen for Ole Miss. One. The 1-2. Bonfield gets a piece. It's popped up to the first baseman twice today. Once Zabowski robbed him in the front row of the seats. The other time, a little easier play. All in 2 strikes, bases empty. Solo home run for Heston Kerstad. Made it a 3-run game. Bonfield sharply to short. Kessinger drops it, picks it back up, and throws in time. Home run by Heston Kerstad, snapped a string of 10 in a row, retired by James MacArthur. 3-run lead for Ole Miss, 5-2. Kerstad with his 7th long ball of the season. Bottom of the 6th inning, Ole Miss and Arkansas, game 3. Got started on Thursday night with a Razorback win. Rebels answered yesterday, a 1-run victory, 5-4. Here is Cole Zabowski to lead things off in the 6th inning. He got this party started in the 5th with a solo home run. Just to the right of straightaway center field. 4-run 5th inning for Ole Miss. All in a strike. Jacob Kostyshak. Third pitcher of the game used by Arkansas. Casey Murphy went 4 1/3. Jackson Rutledge only recorded 1 out. Zabowski fouled that one off the foot. Is that 2 pitches in a row where he took it off the foot? All in 2 strikes to Zabowski. Hits it into right field. Second hit of the ball game for Cole Zabowski. Ole Miss with the leadoff man on base here in the 6th.
How's Zabowski going down there and getting that pitch down the lower strike zone? Nice ground ball to the full hole. Excuse me, just right past the first baseman.
Chase Cockrell, 1 for 2 with a single, scored a run in the 5th. Kelsey shot, down and away for a ball. Boy, Arkansas has not eased into their SEC schedule this year. Gracious. Razorbacks have played one of the best schedules in the country. They, early in the season, had a couple of midweek games out in California. Played Arizona, played Cal Poly, San Diego State, and San Diego. Had a 3-game series with Southern Cal. 2 games in the midweek with Texas. That was all before SEC play started. Arkansas opened with Kentucky. They beat them 9-4, 14-2, and 16-9. Last weekend, Razorbacks went on the road to face Florida, lost 2 of 3. Here the 2-0 to Cockrell, called a strike. So they played, at the time, number 4 Kentucky. And then they played number 2 Florida. And now playing number 4 Ole Miss. And they will host Casey Mize next Friday night for Auburn. How about that pitching matchup with Blaine Knight and Casey Mize next Friday night at Baum Stadium?
That's going to be a fun matchup. Arkansas lineup against Casey Mize.
Strength of schedule for the Razorbacks this year, 9th in the country. 3-1 to Chase Cockrell. Zabowski at first, nobody out. Off the plate, ball 4. Ole Miss has first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. Lowski throwing in the bullpen for Arkansas. Tyler Keenan. After a first pitch ball to Keenan, Dave Van Horn makes the trip to the dugout. Traditionally, it's Dave Van Horn making pitching changes and Wes Johnson out to talk strategy or settle his pitcher down. Dave Van Horn, not so much. He walks out, grabs the ball from Kostychak, and immediately makes the call to the bullpen for Lowski. Barrett Lowski, the junior right-hander. We'll tell you more about him after this. Ole Miss leading 5-2. Barrett Lowski, the new pitcher in the ball game for Arkansas. The junior from Tulsa, Oklahoma, 6 feet, 175 pounds. Lowski making his 7th appearance of the year. He's actually started 2 games. Worked 11 1/3 innings, 15 strikeouts, 4 walks. And just like when Kostychak came into the ball game, he's going to inherit a count. It's 1-0. You almost used to never see that, where a coach would make a pitching change in the middle of a count. Something John Cohen at Mississippi State did a bunch. He'd have a 2-0 count or a 2-1 count. And he'd walk out and make a pitching change. Yeah, interesting time to do that.
That's tough too as a pitcher. I mean, you come in and inherit a count, and you want to start fresh and Let that batter
Coach, I
be
might
yours.
need all 3 of those balls. Okay, just. Loski's got one more pitch. Ole Miss led the inning off with a single from Cole Zabowski. He was behind in the count, got a single through the right side. Chase Cockrell walked, and now Tyler Keenan, left-handed hitter, coming back to the plate with a 1-0 count. Arkansas has allowed 5 runs in this ball game, but only 1 is an earned run. 2 errors on the Razorbacks have kind of opened the door for Ole Miss to have some success offensively. Keenan awaits the 1-0. That runs away for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. I mean, that's the thing. If you miss with your first pitch, now you're in a 2-0 count, and it's a hitter's count. Nobody asked, my opinion. But Keenan was geared up there, fouled it back 2-1. 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Loski. Line into center field. Zabowski had to freeze and make sure that ball got past Biggers, and so Ole Miss has got bases loaded, nobody out, with Jacob Adams coming to the plate. Second single of the game for Keenan.
Keenan really letting his hands work there, going down to get that pitch. Great job there by Zabowski checking up on that ball, because if Biggers catches that, I mean, that's 2 outs in the inning. Instead, now you got bases loaded, no outs.
Ole Miss as a team this year is hitting .579 with the bases loaded. That's only the second time this year that Jacob Adams has batted with the sacks full, and he has a hit. Adams takes ball 1. Jacob Adams frustrating at bat his last time up. He was at the plate with nobody out and runners at first and second, was asked to sacrifice, couldn't get the bunt down. He popped it up to Martin at third. 0 for 2 today. Boy, Arkansas in a dangerous spot right here. They're trailing by 3 in the bottom of the 6th. But Ole Miss, chance for possibly a big inning. There's a strike to Adams. Bases loaded, nobody out. Three and 1 now to Adams. Zabowski at third, Cockrell at second, Keenan at first. Adams fouls it off. In the dirt, ball 4. Loski walks in a run. And it's 6-2. Zabowski comes home to score. Cockrell to third. Keenan to second. On the RBI walk, bases loaded walk to Jacob Adams, and now back to the top of the order and Gray Kessinger. Ole Miss scored 4 runs on 4 hits in the 5th inning. Kessinger fouls the first pitch back. They've got 1 run on 2 hits so far, but also 2 walks here in the 6th. Gray Kessinger came into this ball game hitting .333. 0 for 3, but he's been on base twice.
That's a great job there by Cook, keeping that ball in front of him. That's a tough pitch to handle in the dirt.
Arkansas's got a right-hander throwing in the bullpen. Right now, Barrett Lowski, 4th pitcher of the game used for the Razorbacks. The 1-1. 2-1 now to Kessinger. Ole Miss has strung together some good at-bats. They're not chasing pitches out of the strike zone. Kessinger, fly ball to center field. Fletcher backpedaling, makes the catch a step shy of the warning track. Run comes home to score, and it's now 7-2. A 5-run lead for Ole Miss on the sacrifice fly. For Gray Kessinger, picks up his 15th RBI of the year.
Kessinger doing a great job not chasing anything early on in that at bat, but letting that pitch work, letting the velocity work, and taking that pitch deep to center field for a nice sac fly.
Now Ryan Olenek will bat with 1 out and runners at the corners. Olenek 2 for 4 on Thursday, 3 for 4 yesterday, 2 for 2 today. 7 hits on the weekend, and an RBI sacrifice fly in his last at bat. I think that would be a result that Mike Bianco could live with in this at bat as well. Olenek fouls the first pitch away. Single walk to start the inning before the sacrifice fly by Gray Kessinger. Ole Miss 7 runs on 8 hits. They have not committed an error. Arkansas 2 runs, 3 hits. A couple of errors in the ballgame have led to 4 unearned runs of the 7 so far for Ole Miss. That pitch is called a strike. Olenek, like maybe he wasn't sure about that.
That's a good pitch there.
Oh. You're such a pitcher.
I know.
Ball 3 inches inside.
It's a great pitcher's pitch. It's effective.
The 1-2. Ground ball to short. Biggers drops it. He'll throw to first in time to get Olenek. An RBI ground out. Keenan comes home to score, and Ole Miss now has a 6-run lead.
See Olenek here. Big hopper to shortstop. He gets the job done, though. He gets the run across the board.
The only difference in that and the sac fly is your batting average, right? So now Jacob Adams, only base runner. He's out at second. Nick Fortes at the plate. Fortes 0 for 1 with a sac fly and a walk. Two down, 2-0 the count to Nick Fortes. Strike on the corner. Fortes gave up on that one. It's called a strike. Ryan Moorhead has told Nick Fortes to get back into the box, and Mike Bianco, perhaps to save his catcher, will go out to visit with him and call him away. He'll use one of those offensive visits. That's a tool that, if used effectively, a head coach can kind of save a player. Ask for time, come out and talk to an offensive player who's maybe reacting a little more than he should. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. And a full count now to Nick Fortes. All 4. Another walk in the inning. That's a 3rd free pass here in the 6th inning. Keeps the inning alive and will bring Thomas Dillard to the plate. Dillard had an RBI single in the 5th. Jake Reindl's throwing in the bullpen for Arkansas. Another right-hander. Dillard 1 for 3. Check swing strike. Oh, excuse me. They appealed and said he did not go around. Again, nobody asked my opinion there. No, I thought you got it in real time. So 1-0 to Dillard. This time he takes a strike. Told you Arkansas hosting Auburn next weekend. Ole Miss heads to Starkville for a 3-game series with Mississippi State. It will not be, though, an empty weekend in Oxford. Baseball team goes on the road. Football team playing the spring game. Get the Grove Bowl, which will be on the SEC Network next Saturday.
It's hard to believe it's already time for spring football.
That's the end of spring football a week from today. The 1-2. Strike three called outside corner. Dillard goes away looking. Ole Miss strands a couple, but the Rebels add 3. It's a 6-run lead. An absolute beautiful Saturday, and as a result, the 5th largest attended game in the history of this stadium. 11,146. 70 degrees, sunshine, top 10 matchup, all the ingredients to fill the ballpark up. And it's everywhere you look. It's the grandstands are full, standing room all the way through the stadium. Students be on the right field wall, family section be on the left field wall. This is as good as it gets. You start splitting hairs when you're talking about best stadiums in college baseball and all of that, because there's a fly ball to right. That ball's crushed. Dominic Fletcher off the back wall of the bullpen. That's the second solo home run given up by James MacArthur in the last 2 innings. MacArthur's pitched a beauty today. Don't know that he'll stay in a whole lot longer in this game. Fletcher with his 4th home run of the season, his 16th career long ball. Dominic Fletcher picks up his 18th RBI of the year. Mike Bianco out to, it appears, make a pitching change. Will Etheridge ready in the bullpen. Bianco signals for the right-hander, and James MacArthur will get a huge welcome to the dugout from his teammates and a big standing ovation. This crowd of over 11,000. Ole Miss leading Arkansas 8-3. Solo home run. Will Etheridge coming in the top of the 7th. Will Etheridge, the right-hander, into the ballgame for Ole Miss. Second pitcher used today. Etheridge out of Wilburn, Georgia. 1-0 on the year, 1.86 ERA. Etheridge making his 12th appearance of the year. That ties Parker Caracci for the team lead. 22 strikeouts, 3 walks. Pretty good ratio.
Yeah, I love Etheridge's stuff. He's got a great fastball. Loves to work his slider. And he's a guy that's not a stranger to situations like this, coming in to ball games out of the pen, facing tough lineups.
Jordan McFarland will hit right-handed hitter against the right-handed pitcher, Will Etheridge. James MacArthur goes 6 innings, gives up 4 hits. 2 of those were solo home runs. Allows 3 earned runs, struck out 2, walked 1. Hard to ask for much more today from James MacArthur. In 14 career innings against Arkansas, MacArthur has allowed 4 runs and 5 hits. This one gets away, and the Razorbacks have a base runner. McFarland headed down to first, hit by the pitch. Fly ball left field, pretty well hit. Cook drives one to the back wall of the bullpen, a 2-run home run, and Arkansas says, don't count us out just yet. 8-5. Second home run of the inning, third of the ball game for the Razorbacks.
Cook really letting that pitch work, missing belts high like that, making Etheridge pay for leaving the ball up in the zone. And with an offense like Arkansas, cannot come out of the ballgame until the very end.
2 home runs in the inning, 3 runs across for the Razorbacks. It's back to a 3-run ball game. Here's Carson Shaddy, the 9-hole hitter. Fouls it off. Still nobody out. Top of the 7th inning. Razorbacks have got 9 outs to work with in this game. On a day that has been a good day for hitters with the wind blowing out. Shaddy fouls it back. He's behind in the count, 0-2. With the 3 home runs today, Arkansas now has 52 for the year. Ground ball back to the mound. And there's one away. After home run, hit by pitch, home run, it's got to feel good to get that first out in the inning.
That's a great job there by Etheridge, too, just settling in. I think you said that's tough to come back after 2 bombs in 1 inning.
Top of the lineup. Ground ball, right side, base hit for Jax Biggers, his first hit of the ball game. Talking about the offensive numbers for this Arkansas team. They're coming to life here in the top of the 7th as Biggers hits one through the 4-hole. Coming into today's ball game, in SEC games only, where the pitching theoretically is better than what you've seen for the entire season, they're hitting .341. With the 3 home runs today, they've now hit 23 home runs in 9 league games. Here's Eric Cole, 1 for 3. Alice Woolfolk up and throwing in the pen for Ole Miss. Pitched last night for the Rebels. You've also got Will Stokes down there, who has not pitched this weekend. Down and in, 2-0 to Eric Cole. Two and one. You know, guys hit foul balls and line shots into the seats all the time. They just bounce around and you don't think anything about it. A little bit different game when every seat is full. See 3 or 4 people get hit by foul balls today.
A lot of bobbing and weaving going on in the stands.
Yeah. Cole fouls it off, 2-2. Arkansas with 2 home runs in the inning. A solo shot by Fletcher, his 4th of the year. Grant Cook hit his 6th, the 2-run shot. This one's popped foul, first base side. Cortez and Zabowski both give it a chase, but 2 away. Casey Martin 0 for 3 today. Fly out, ground out, and a fly out. Four hits on the weekend for the freshman third baseman for Arkansas. 2 in game 1, 2 in game 2. This ball lifted into left, a base hit for Casey Martin, his 5th hit of the weekend. The Razorbacks now have the tying run coming to the plate. And Heston Kerstad, who is 2 for 3 with a double and a home run.
Kerstad did a great job there, adjusting to the off-speed pitch. Just let his hands work and take it right over the head of Kessinger.
So a single for Casey Martin. Bigger's out at second base. And Heston Kerstad hit his 7th home run of the season earlier today. He's got 28 runs batted in. Arkansas's put 3 on the board here in the top of the 7th. Mike Bianco is coming out. And he is going to make a pitching change. He will bring Dallas Woolfolk into the game to face the freshman Heston Kerstad. Second time this weekend that Will Etheridge has pitched, not as sharp today. Arkansas has the tying run coming to the plate to face Dallas Woolfolk after this. Dallas Woolfolk into the game, junior pitcher for the Rebels. 6'3", 240 pounds. Making his 13th appearance of the year. 12 innings of work, 11 strikeouts, 4 walks. He pitched on yesterday in game 2. Worked an inning of relief before handing it off to Parker Caracci in the 8th. Heston Kerstad coming to the plate for Arkansas, 2 for 3. Including this solo home run, deep right center field. That was a solo shot in the top of the 6th. Arkansas has put 3 on the board here in the top of the 7th. Yesterday, Dallas Woolfolk worked a 1/3 of an inning. He got a strikeout, but he gave up 1 hit and 1 earned run. Boy, a ballpark that was full of just joy and hanging out about 15 minutes ago. It's got a lot of nervous energy in it as Arkansas could tie it with 1 swing of the bat here with Heston Kerstad at the plate. The freshman hitting .388 on the year. Now's the first pitch from Woolfolk off, breaking ball to start the at-bat. Richard Cross, Brady Bramlett, glad to have you along in this deciding game 3. It's been a really fun series this weekend. Arkansas got game 1 by 2. Ole Miss won by 1 yesterday. The Rebels just minutes ago had a 6-run lead in this game. It's down to a 3-run lead. And Arkansas has the potential tying run at the plate in the 7th. We're not done yet. The 1-1 from Woolfolk. This is away for ball 2. Now Dallas Woolfolk's a different pitcher than he was a year ago. What do you see as the difference?
I mean, really, I don't know if it's velocity or it's mentality, but I mean, he's normally a guy that's just a bulldog, going to go after you on the mound, and here you see him just kind of flopping, breaking balls up there.
This ball lifted into the gap in left. It's going to fall in front of Dillard. One run comes home to score. Throw back into the infield. An RBI single for Kerstad, and Arkansas has made it a 2-run game. Jax Bigger scores from second. Martin goes first to third. 29th RBI of the year for Heston Kerstad.
And Kerstad again showing how great of a hitter he really is. Woolfolk really not making quality, effective pitches there in that at bat against Kerstad.
You know, he opened him with the breaking ball that Kerstad fouled away. But the next two attempted breaking balls weren't anywhere close to the zone. There's Will Stokes. Right-hander appears to be ready whenever he's called on. Luke Bonfield, 9th hitter of the inning for Arkansas. Bonfield takes inside for ball one. 91-mile-per-hour fastball. Ole Miss got a 2-inning save out of Parker Caracci last night. High fly ball, foul down the third base line, out of play. That ball was hit a long way, but foul. Bonfield 0 for 3 today. He's had kind of a quiet weekend. The 1-1. Up and in, and it hit him. And now the Razorbacks have the bases loaded. Tying run at second, go-ahead run at first. And Dominic Fletcher, who led the inning off with a solo home run off the back wall of the bullpen in the right field corner, strolls back to the plate with the bases loaded.
You know what's so disappointing about this inning for the Ole Miss Rebels is that in the bottom of the 6th, your offense goes and puts up a 3 spot for you, and you come back here to the top of the 7th now, and Arkansas places a crooked 4 on the board.
Mike Bianco making another trip to the mound. And looks as if he is going to make the call to the bullpen. He will. Will Stokes is coming into the game. Dallas Woolfolk faces 2 batters. Gives up an RBI single to Kerstad and hits Bonfield. And is done. Works no percentage of an inning. Will Stokes coming into the ball game. Ole Miss needs an out. Arkansas needs a hit. We're at the top of the 7th. Game's turned pretty dramatically. Will Stokes on to pitch, the senior from Meridian, 6 feet, 205 pounds. Stokes this year is 1-0 with 4.22 ERA. James MacArthur went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits and 3 runs. One of those 4 hits and one of those runs was a solo home run to start this inning. So through the first 6 innings, 3 hits and 2 runs. But this 7th inning for Arkansas, Razorbacks have put 4 runs on the board. Will Etheridge in relief worked 2/3 of an inning, gave up 3 hits and 3 runs. Dallas Woolfolk worked no percentage of an inning, gave up a hit and hit a batter. So the guys at first and second, Kerstad and Bonfield, belong to Dallas Woolfolk. Will Stokes, the right-hander, dealing with Dominic Fletcher, the left-handed hitter. a tough season for Dominic Fletcher, who was so good a year ago, a freshman All-American with 12 home runs. Hitting just .229 this year, but today, 1 for 2 with a solo home run. Fletcher takes that first pitch away for ball one. Two and 0.
Against any other lineup, that pitch right there, that slider in the zone would be extremely effective, but such a disciplined lineup like Arkansas, I mean, you got to make pitches and really make them work.
Fletcher fouls it down the first baseline. Arkansas had a 1-0 lead going into the bottom of the fourth. Ole Miss got a run there, tied it, put 4 runs on the board in the fifth, and led 5-1. Razorbacks got 1 back in the sixth. Ole Miss pushed the lead out to 8-2. Fletcher, fly ball to right. Ryan Olenek toward the gap, rounds it out, makes the catch, and the Razorbacks leave the bases loaded. Will Stokes gets a fly ball to end the inning. But it was a big inning for Arkansas. Razorbacks climb back into the ball game. Grant Cook, a 2-run home run over the left field wall. It is now 8-6 as we stretch at Swayze. Razorbacks, Ole Miss, 8 runs and 8 hits. Well, Arkansas answered Ole Miss's 3 runs in the bottom of the sixth with 4 of their own in the top of the seventh. We'll see if the Rebels are able to put a number in the score column. Leading off is Will Golson facing Barrett Lowski. Golson lines it into center field, a base hit. It's a hit party on this Saturday in Oxford. 9th hit of the game for the Rebels. And first hit of the day for Will Golson.
Golson doing a great job here. Great pitch there by Lowski down the zone, but Golson really letting his body work going down to get it.
Dave Van Horn will head to the mound, and we've got another pitching change. This time it is a left-hander coming in for the Razorbacks. Arkansas will go to its 5th pitcher of the day. Ole Miss has used 4 to this point. Coming into the ball game is Matt Cronin, who pitched really, really well in game 1 of this series. On Thursday night, Matt Cronin, sophomore from Navarre, Florida, out of the bullpen, worked 3 innings of scoreless relief. He gave up 1 hit and struck out 5. Dave Van Horn has called on Cronin for the 2nd time this weekend, making his 11th appearance of the year. Look at that, 27 strikeouts and just 4 walks.
And Cronin really the complete opposite of Murphy that started this game. Talking about a crafty lefty. Cronin, man, he's a power lefty. You're going to see a lot of fastballs. And really, Friday night, I think we might have seen one, if not any, off-speed from Cronin.
Going to have a lefty-on-lefty matchup to start this inning. And there are a lot of times with Mike Bianco, this is a spot where you might see a substitution. But Zabowski's kind of earned the right to stay in the lineup, regardless of whether or not you got a right-hander or a left-hander. He's 2 for 3 today. A solo home run, his 7th of the year. Zabowski hitting .329 for the season. Leadoff single for Will Golson knocked Barrett Lowski out of the game. Cronin 2-0 with a 2.05 ERA. Olsen kind of falls back over to the first base bag. Cronin's first pitch, 93-mile-an-hour fastball down at the bottom of the strike zone, and Zabowski fouled it off. Cronin faced 10 batters in the game. Or excuse me, faced 11 batters in the game. He had the one walk. Recorded 5 strikeouts in the 11 that came to the plate for Ole Miss. Olsen at first, Zabowski at the plate, the 1-1. Lifted to left. Should be easy for Kerstad. He kind of started to take a step back, but just froze in left field, then had to come a few steps forward for the first out of the inning. One out with a runner on first for Chase Cockrell. Rebel DH hitting .403 on the year. He's 1 for 2 today. Quick throw over, and Golson dives back in. What a series. Arkansas wins by 2 on Thursday, 6-4. Ole Miss, a 1-run victory yesterday, 5-4. Today, Rebels were leading in this game 8-2. After 6, Arkansas scores 4 in the top of the 7th. It's a 2-run game, now 2-0 to Cockrell. A couple of top 10 teams in the country coming in. Ole Miss at 4, Arkansas at 6. You have seen why. 3-0 now to Cockrell. This has very much had a postseason feel to it this weekend.
Just the way the game's been played, the scores, and the crowd, too.
There's the strike. 31,413 the combined attendance over the 3 games. (3-1) coming to Cockrell. Check swing, he held up, and Ole Miss has first and second with 1 out.
How about this, Richard? How effective the bottom half of the Ole Miss lineup has been this game. 6 out of the 8 runs so far have come from 6, 7, 8 out of the Ole Miss lineup.
Zabowski 2 for 4. Cockrell 1 for 2 with a couple of walks. Keenan 2 for 3. Here's Tyler Keenan. Singled in his last 2 at bats. Adams waits on deck. A lefty on lefty matchup. Keenan takes strike 1. Arkansas pitchers have combined to walk 5 in the game. Rutledge walked 1. Kostichak walked 1. Losky walked 2. And now Cronin has walked 1. (1-1) to Keenan. 3 of Ole Miss's 8 runs have scored on guys that either reached on an error or a walk. Gray Kessinger scored twice after reaching on errors. Cockrell in the 6th scored after reaching on a walk. Cockrell, fly ball to left. Kerstad on the run to the track, reaches up, hits the top of the wall, and kicks into the bullpen. A 3-run oppo blast for Tyler Keenan. Big answer from Ole Miss in the bottom of the 7th.
Ole Miss answering back in a big way here out of Tyler Keenan, taking an oppo bomb to left field. And you got to love the reaction out of the Ole Miss bullpen, just waiting, and yes, it gets over the fence.
So Matt Cronin pitching for the 2nd time this weekend. Results not as good this time. Jacob Adams takes a strike. That was Tyler Keenan's 3rd home run of the year. It's 1-1 to Adams.
What's really neat too is after a hit like that, the atmosphere of the stadium. There's a lot more talk, a lot more action now. These Ole Miss fans get back into the game.
I mean, it's been kind of a roller coaster of emotions in this ball game, with Arkansas scoring the 4 in the top of the 7th. Ole Miss has scored in 4 straight innings, 1 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, and 3 here in the 7th. There is a strike to Jacob Adams. He thought ball 4 had just been delivered. He's about to toss the bat away, but he'll wait for at least another pitch. And Tyler Keenan, if it was 340 to get the ball over the wall, he hit it 340 exactly. Adams lines it to right. This one hangs up in the air, and Cole comes forward and makes the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. The home run from Tyler Keenan hit the padding on the top of the wall and bounced into the Ole Miss bullpen. Pushed the lead back out to 5. Gray Kessinger takes strike 1. Jake Reindl up, throwing for the 2nd time today in the bullpen for Arkansas. Kessinger has a sac fly, has driven in a run, has reached on an error twice, and has scored a couple of runs. He's behind in the count to Cronin here 0-2. Strike 3 called. Kessinger goes away looking. Ole Miss 3 runs on 2 hits. This was the big blast. Tyler Keenan, opposite field. Is it enough? Is it enough? Just barely. 3-run blast, and Ole Miss leads at 11-6. Here's your game summary as we go to the 8th. Ole Miss leading 11-6. 11 runs, 10 hits, no errors today for the Rebels. James McArthur, the starter for Ole Miss, went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs. Casey Murphy, 4 1/3. He gave up 4 runs. Keenan, 3 for 4 today. Had a big 3-run home run. Grant Cook had a 2-run homer for Arkansas in the top of the 7th. 5-run lead for Ole Miss. Will Stokes back out on the mound. 7, 8, 9 coming to the plate for Arkansas to start the 8th. Jordan McFarland, 0 for 2, hit by a pitch, scored a run. This ball lined into center field, a base hit for McFarland. And Arkansas has the leadoff man on base.
McFarland kind of leaning that way. Looked a little off balance in that swing, but man, still great base hit up the middle.
Here's Grant Cook. Houston Roth and Parker Caracci are throwing in the Ole Miss bullpen. Will Stokes came in and got the last out of the 7th. He works from the stretch to Cook. Foul tip, strike 1. Now, you can say what you want to about the pitching in this ball game. This is 2 teams that can hit. Swing and a miss. That was a put 2 more runs on the board swing for Grant Cook.
I mean, it's always fun to watch a baseball game, but this weekend, this series, talking about their lineups, man, it's been really fun and enjoyable to watch. The baseball's just hitting the play.
Stokes off the plate there for ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch to Cook. Count evens at 2-2. Out into the seats, first base side. Cook went 0 for 4 on Thursday night in game 1. 1 for 4 yesterday. 2-run home run today. Fouled back. Cook in the 6 hole for the first 2 games of the series. Down in the 8 hole in the lineup today. Carson Shaddy waits on deck for the Razorbacks. McFarland at first, a 2-2 pitch coming to Cook. Will Stokes, I think, thought that he had delivered strike 3, and so did the 11,000 plus fans in the stadium. Just off the plate.
That's close.
Home plate umpire Ryan Moorhead hearing it from the fans. This one bounces to the backstop, and so Arkansas has first and second with nobody out. Single and a walk to start the inning for the Razorbacks off of Will Stokes. McFarland out at second, Cook at first, Carson Shaddy at the plate. 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Will Stokes. Up in the zone, got Shaddy to swing and miss. That is a rather sarcastic cheer from the Ole Miss fans. Entirely sure where that pitch was. Ran in, maybe up a little bit. The 1-2. Fortes gave it a look. That one will go just beyond the Arkansas dugout. Checking on the little girl, looked like maybe hit her. All right, one of the adults around you. Reach up and catch the ball. It appears to be okay. Nobody out. First and second for Arkansas, top of the 8th.
See Will Stokes just keep working that outer half, expanding, and I don't think he's gonna get any leeway there.
Fly ball to center. Arkansas not going to try to move up the runners as Golson makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Now back to the top of the lineup and Jax Biggers. Ole Miss a 5-run lead, but with the way these two teams have swung the bat, especially here in the middle innings of this ballgame, last couple of innings, nothing really feels safe. 0-1 to Biggers coming up. And one thing that's been kind of evident over the course of these 3 games is both of these teams, when they step onto the field, they expect to win. And, you know, lots of teams will tell you they expect to win. You look at an Ole Miss team sitting at 24 wins. Arkansas trying to pick up their 20th win. They're 19-8. They know their offenses are good. They know their pitchers are good. This one's hammered foul. Biggers behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Ole Miss has 10 come from behind victories this year. Biggers 1 for 4. One-two pitch. That's a fair ball. Inside the chalk down the right field line. McFarland comes around to score. It is an RBI double for Jax Biggers. And it's now 11-7. But Biggers had Stokes timed up. He was out front 2 pitches in a row. That one up in the strike zone, and he keeps it just inside the fair foul line.
Lenning doing a great job there, cutting that ball off to prevent another run from crossing the board.
RBI double for Jax Biggers, his second hit of the ball game. Grant Cook now at third, so Arkansas second and third with 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Eric Cole 1 for 4 today. That was the 10th hit of the game for Arkansas. Cole, fly ball to right. Olenek on the run. That ball is gone. A 3-run home run for Eric Cole, and this is a 1-run ball game. Goodness gracious, what a baseball game. Cole hits his 7th home run of the year.
You want to talk about drama in a baseball game, you got to love a 3-run bomb to make it a 1-run ball game. Cole really making Stokes pay for leaving that ball up in the zone like that. And again, we've been talking about fireworks and excitement in a series all weekend. And today, definitely not disappointing.
Ole Miss is going to go to Parker Caracci with 5 outs remaining in this ball game. He got a 6-out save last night. Worked 2 innings. We've seen 3-run home runs combined by these 2 teams in the last 2 innings. 11-10. Ole Miss leads by 1. Parker Caracci for the 2nd consecutive day on to try and get a save for Ole Miss. The sophomore from Jackson, 6 feet, 200 pounds. He's making his 13th appearance of the year. 37 strikeouts, including the final 3 outs of yesterday's ball game. He's walked only 3 this year. He's going to face Casey Martin with 1 out in the top of the 8th. Let me correct myself. I said 3 3-run home runs. It was 2 3-run home runs. One by Tyler Keenan for Ole Miss. You just had the one by Eric Cole. But you also had the 2-run home run in the 7th by Grant Cook. Arkansas has hit 4 home runs in the ball game. Ole Miss has hit 2. Razorbacks 10 runs on 11 hits. They've committed 2 errors. Ole Miss 11 runs on 10 hits, no errors. This is the Razorbacks in the 8th. Leadoff single by McFarland. Cook walked. Got the RBI double down the right field line by Jax Biggers. And then Eric Cole goes deep. A 3-run home run. Just to the left of the 365 mark in right center field. It is 11-10 as we play in the bottom or the top of the 8th. And Parker Caracci on the pitch for Ole Miss. I have no idea where that pitch was, but it's called ball 1. There's a strike. Caracci came in after a leadoff double by McFarland in the 8th last night. He walked the first batter he faced, gave up a sacrifice fly and a double before getting a fly out to get out of the 8th. Then he followed it up with 3 straight strikeouts in the 9th. Here the 1-1. That one's called a strike. 1-2. Base is empty after the 3-run homer by Eric Cole. Arkansas scored 4 in the 8th. This is popped out of play, and Martin stays alive. Casey Martin 1 for 4 today. Flew out in the 1st, grounded out in the 3rd, flew out in the 6th, and singled in the 7th. The 1-2. Ground ball to short. 2 down in the inning.
That's a great job there by Caracci. Coming in, Arkansas building so much momentum up to this point in this inning. Getting a quick out like that, that's definitely what Ole Miss needs in a moment like this.
Caracci is 2-0 on the year with 5 saves. In 19 innings, he struck out 37. 2 down. Down and in for ball 1 to Heston Kjerstad, who is 3 for 4 today. Doubled and scored in the second, flew out in the third, solo home run in the sixth, and an RBI single in the seventh for the freshman left fielder Kjerstad. Three for 4 today. It's pushed his batting average back up to .394 for the year. The 1-1. Two balls and a strike to Heston Kjerstad. Kjerstad pops it up. Kessinger backpedaling, reaches up and makes the catch. So Parker Caracci out of the bullpen gets a ground out and a pop out to end the 8th. Ole Miss will take at least a 1-run lead to the 9th. It's a close game because of Eric Cole's 3-run blast. It's Ole Miss 11, Arkansas 10 as we go to the bottom of the way. Whew, take a breath. We go to the bottom of the 8th. What a game, Arkansas and Ole Miss. This was a 1-1 game going into the 5th. Ole Miss scored 4 in the 5th. Arkansas scored a run in the 6th. Ole Miss got 3 in the 6th. Arkansas got 4 in the 7th. Ole Miss got 3 in the 7th. Arkansas scores 4 in the 8th. And now Ryan Olenek, 2 for 3 with 7 hits on the weekend. Couple of runs driven in today. Will lead things off against Matt Cronin. Line shot to Martin at third base. You can't hit it much harder than that. Ryan Olenek takes a long look over at Martin at third.
It's a great snag there by Martin.
That ball was crushed. Here's Nick Fortes. Fortes pops it up. Shallow center field. It's the second baseman Shaddy backing up to make the catch. Quickly 2 outs in the inning. Softball coming your way tomorrow. Number 6 Georgia, number 10 Tennessee in Knoxville. 6 Eastern. It's on the SEC Network and streaming on the SEC or the ESPN app. Ole Miss having a conversation. Mike Bianco having a conversation with Thomas Dillard. He's going to bat to the right side against the lefty Matt Cronin. Thomas Dillard 1 for 4 with an RBI single. His 27th run batted in of the year. He's hitting .311 on the year. Obviously an overwhelming Ole Miss crowd today, but when Arkansas got the Eric Cook home run, the 3-run homer in the 8th inning, down in the right field corner, up high and a few folks scattered down low, there were enough Razorbacks fans to come up and get a pig suey going. Dillard, fly ball to center, on the run, Fletcher, he will retreating, make the step, or the catch, a step shy of the warning track. Ole Miss goes 1-2-3 in the 8th. Haven't said that much today. Caracci comes back out
all the way.
Vanderbilt in Florida, game 3 tomorrow. Gators playing for the sweep at home at McKeithen Stadium. Noon Eastern, first pitch on the SEC Network, streaming live on the ESPN app. We go to the 9th. Swayze Field in Oxford. Parker Caracci looking for 3 outs and his 6th save of the year. He struck out the side of the 9th yesterday to even this series at a game apiece. One of the storylines that we've had this weekend was Arkansas and where the game stood in the 6th inning, or after 6 innings. They are undefeated on the year, 16-0 when leading after 6. They are 0-5 on the year when trailing after 6. Held true on Friday, held true yesterday. First pitch, strike. 93-mile-an-hour fastball to Luke Bonfield. Ball game 3 hours and 20 minutes old. What a game it has been. Bonfield behind in the count, 0-2. The 0-2 to Bonfield, down and away. 2-run win on Friday night for Arkansas, 6-4. Last night a 1-run win for Ole Miss, 5-4. Rebels lead it by 1 here in the top of the 9th. Bonfield lead off, extra bases to start the top of the 9th. Throw comes in from Dillard, and Luke Bonfield slides in safely with a double. Arkansas, the tying run in scoring position. First hit of the game for Bonfield.
See Parker Caracci here miss up and in. That's a mistake you can't make in a ball game like this. In a tight ball game, 1 run. Caracci's got to be able to make that pitch down and in the zone. But Bonfield, great job of capitalizing on that ball up and in the zone.
Jack Kinley will pinch run for Bonfield. Here's Dominic Fletcher coming to the plate. Be interested to see how Arkansas plays this. Get a leadoff double. Are you playing to try and take the lead in the 9th, or are you trying to get that tying run home? Fletcher did not show bunt as Caracci spun to second. 12 hits in the game for the Razorbacks. Dominic Fletcher had a solo home run in the 7th. He pops it up on the infield. Keenan squeezes it for the first out.
That's a critical out there, and you see Fletcher immediately. He knew as soon as that came off the bat. That was a bad swing.
So still the tying run at second base. Jordan McFarland at the plate. Right-handed hitter against the right-hander Parker Caracci. Kinley, the pinch runner for Arkansas, does not have a stolen base try on the year. And you wouldn't think stealing here. Can't afford to erase the tying run. Inside to McFarland. Cook waits on deck. McFarland has scored a couple of runs today. He singled in the 8th. Got away from Fortes on the swing and miss, but not far enough for Kinley to advance. So McFarland really fooled on that breaking ball. Out to the Ole Miss dugout. McFarland behind in the count. 1 ball with 2 strikes. One out, top of the 9th, 1-run ball game. Arkansas's got the tying run at second. A pinch runner in Jack Kinley. Jordan McFarland fouls this one into the net. Late on the fastball that time, 91 miles per hour.
Arkansas has proven time and time and again that their batters, they're not going to make it easy on to get them out.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Gracie got McFarland to chase a breaking ball out of the zone for the 2nd out of the inning.
You know, Gracie, that entire bat really working in on McFarland's hands. And then right there, great slider. Start that on the outer half of the strike zone. Ended just down. Great pitch, great effective pitch.
Grant Cook, 3 runs batted in today. Had a 2-run home run in the 7th. Tying run at second. Cook represents the go-ahead run. First pitch strike to Grant Cook. Parker Caracci looking for his 2nd consecutive 2-inning save. Velocity for Caracci appears to be down a tick or 2. He's maxed out at 93 today. We've seen 96, 97 from him this season. The 1-1. Pretty good pitch. Just off the plate. Cook with a good eye there. 2-1. Cook, the 5th-year senior for Arkansas. Hits a fly ball to center. Golson calling for it. Squeezes it. Ole Miss backsides the series. A 2-run win for Arkansas on Thursday and back-to-back 1-run wins for Ole Miss today in front of 11,146. James MacArthur gets the win. Parker Caracci his 6th save, and he does for Ole Miss on back-to-back days. Get the final 6 outs.
You gotta love just the energy and the drama in this ballgame today. Really what you expected of a top 10 matchup on the conclusion of a series. And man, just the offense is going back and forth in this game. But Ole Miss able to hold out with a lot of insurance runs coming from Tyler Keenan's bomb. And you know what? It's a great series conclusion.
What a weekend at Swayze Field in Oxford. More than 30,000 saw these 3-run ball games. It was a top 10 matchup that absolutely delivered. Ole Miss came in at number 4. Arkansas comes in at number 6. Rebels will be on the road next weekend to take on Mississippi State. Arkansas will head back to Baum Stadium to host Auburn next weekend.